reserves. The gentleman from California is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to yield whatever time he may consume to the author of this measure, the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Loudermilk.
The gentleman is recognized.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the time, and Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of House Resolution 3371, a bill that will add valuable historical property to the Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park. This park, which is located in Georgia's 11th Congressional District, is a site of significant battles that took place during America's bloodiest conflict, the Civil War. Our nation has long recognized the importance of preserving historical sites, especially those battlefields where Americans fought and died for freedom. Sites such as Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park allow us to look back in time and get a glimpse of events that helped shape our nation. It is extremely important that we understand our history, otherwise we will be destined to repeat the mistakes of the past. A recent study of American history education revealed that while 98% of college students could identify that Snoop Doggy Dogg was a rapper, only 23% of college seniors could identify that James Madison was the father of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, it's now more important than ever that the generations following us have access to these historic sites and the educational opportunities they provide, or we risk losing touch with our history. It is extremely important to restore the comprehensive study of American history in our schools. However, it is equally important to preserve the places where significant events in our history took place. This bill that I've sponsored will simply allow Kennesaw National Park to acquire two pieces of property that will add to the historic and educational value of this battlefield. One of the properties this bill will preserve is a home that was built in 1853 by Mr. Josiah Wallace. Mr. Wallace built this home for his family, but it was eventually used as a hospital by the Confederate Army during the Civil War. In 1864, the Wallace House fell into the hands of General William Sherman of the Union Army during his campaign to take Atlanta. The house served as Sherman's headquarters during the Battle of Kolb's Farm, which was a resounding victory for the Union Army, but the victory was not without cost. When the smoke cleared, over 350 Union soldiers and over 1,000 Confederate soldiers lay dead. 5 days later, Union General Oliver Howard used the Wallace House as his headquarters and communication center during the Battle of Kennesaw Mountain, one of the bloodiest one-day battles in the entire war. This was also the last major battle before Atlanta fell to Union forces. While the assault by General Sherman was a tactical failure, costing the lives of 3,000 of his men, the battle also inflicted heavy losses on the Confederates. Losing another 1,000 men, the Confederate Army could not stop General Sherman on his march to Atlanta. Adjacent to the Wallace House is 8 acres of land known as Harrison Hill. This property offers a sweeping view of the valley leading to the Confederate line on top of Kennesaw Mountain, and was used by the Union as a signaling position during the battle. This location is essential for park visitors to understand the strategic positions taken by Union and Confederate armies during the battle. In addition to being critical sites in Civil War history, the Wallace House and Harrison Hill are two of the few original locations remaining from the Battle of Kennesaw Mountain associated with the Union Army. Most of the park's current attractions correspond with Confederate history, and these additions will prove to be major historical acquisitions that will enhance the value of the park and provide insight into the Union side of the story. In 2002, the county government purchased the Wallace House and Harrison Hill to prevent the house from being demolished. Since then, the county has been seeking to transfer the property to the park. My bill simply modifies the boundary of Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park to include the house and the hill, and authorizes the park to acquire the property by donation. Along with Cobb County government, this bill is supported by the National Park Service, Kennesaw Mountain Park, and several park volunteer organizations and historical societies in my district. This legislation is an essential step forward toward preserving our nation's heritage and a valuable part of Civil War history. The Wallace House and Harrison Hill will provide tremendous educational and historical value to Kennesaw Mountain Park, and it is my hope that the park will quickly acquire the property and restore it to its original condition for visitors to enjoy for generations to come. I urge my colleagues to support this bill. I thank the chairman for yielding the time, and I yield back.